I'm Simon Evans. This is the second day of 31 days in May. I was just wondering what on earth it was that I was going to talk to you about today, but this morning I've finally finished my last draft of the book that I'm going to be publishing. I have put all those attachments in an email and I've sent them off to the publisher. Fingers crossed I'm not going to see them again, but they're going to work their magic and they'll send me back with a bunch of changes, I'm sure. But anyway, it's done. I'm finished. It's not the first book that I've written. I wrote a series of books entitled Making ICT Experts in the Classroom, and there'll be a link to the resource in the doobly-doo underneath. When they were published, I came under a bit of criticism for writing them. The reason being that the current thinking around ICT in the classroom is that it is there to support and it's a tool to be used. And my books were not instructional, but they were task cards and they were turn the computer on, this is what you do, blah 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 blah. It was very procedure orientated to begin with, and then the project file coming in later. I'm going to sneeze. The reason I wrote those books was because, in my experience, I was guilty of this too, the computer in the classroom stayed off and it never got turned on. It was trying to get kids going on the computers was just in the too hard basket. And the reason that I wrote those books was not for those teachers who are high flying and they're into wikis and blogs and podcasting and they get their kids doing this and that and the other, and that's great. But there are a certain number of teachers who just find that sort of stuff too difficult. And so my books there were to encourage teachers and students to turn that machine on in the corner and to get something started with computers in the classroom. And from that, the hope was that the creativity juices would start to flow, as students would become enthused, and teachers would see that it is not that difficult, and then they can then incorporate it a bit more into their regular teaching pattern. That was my plan. If you're a teacher out there, please leave a comment. Question being, what ICT do you use in the classroom? Leave a comment.